Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Direct Recap Show here on the Boss Rush Network. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, I have 5 of my closest friends joining us tonight. First of all, is Randy Pitchford's favorite magic trick, LeRon Dawkins.
Whoa!
Christ.
Whoa!
I have a name for everybody, LeRon. You're not special, okay?
I'm gonna take my leave of the show now. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye.
Wow.
You sit those muscles down.
Okay, so for the people that care about this, what's popping?
Hi, LeRon.
Hey,
I feel
Corey.
like we just did this, but with blue instead of white. Also, remember how we had that conversation about people commenting that their eyes hurt because we used white background, so I switched to blue yesterday?
Yeah.
How blinding is this right now?
It's the only reason why this is not too bad is because there's a grid of 6 of us on.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Speaking of,
I feel like people should tone down their harsh lighting in on their camera feeds, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Get some Hue or some Govee lamps, guys.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well,
I feel like this is directed at me.
No, actually, you have the softest light out of the others.
Is it me?
Josh, it is you. Speaking of that, also here is the Princess of Imprisonment, Stephanie Klimov.
I was going to make a cute little quote reference from the direct, but I'm going to put my headphones down and turn my lights off and talk to you guys in the dark. Gosh.
Actually, before this goes way too out of context here, it's the professional YouTuber to my right.
You're right. You're pointing left,
Josh?
but he's to your right. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, we're mirrored. My bad.
Yeah.
Wait, it's my right though. This is my right.
It's fine. Yeah,
because if I point that way, I'm pointing at Josh. Yeah. See,
well,
even on the stream, I'm pointing at Josh.
Well, not on here. So, look, man. I'm just.
Let's do this. Get the intros out.
I'm just going to move along. I'm moving along.
Get the intros out the way.
I'm moving along. Yeah. Also, here is my favorite $10 Switch 2 upgrade, Josh Finney.
Jesus. Well, at least mine's kinder than the others.
These are bad.
It just makes me sound cheap.
These are so bad.
I mean, Josh, look at all the merch behind you. We know you're not cheap. How much money have you spent on Destiny merch since I've known you?
Ballpark. Hit it.
Too much?
1,000-ish?
Oh, man. Good times, huh? Destiny. That wasn't here today. Not
Continue.
shocked, though.
Continue. Hello, everybody.
Oh, man. Also here is the one, the only Switch creator from the Great White North, Mr. Andre Wilson.
Yellow. Hello.
Hi,
Oh,
Andre.
hey. Oh, hi.
How's it going, everyone?
I didn't have time to think of a sweet nickname for you because as of 45 minutes ago,
Yeah.
when I knew you were going to be on.
I asked him at like 2 my time, 5:40 my time. He sends me a link, and I was like, "Oh God, this is happening! No time to prep. Zero prep time." But I'm here.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. I'm here.
You
with
are-
some great
you
people
are
to talk
here.
about some fun things today. So
You are here. You are here, and I'm happy you're here.
me too. Here,
I'm happy
Excited.
you're here.
excited to talk all kinds of things with you guys. So
It's true.
wouldn't have it any other way.
Last but not least, everybody. Last but not least, we have the star-crossed barrel bonanza man himself, the one and only, that retro code Eddie V is here.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Oh, what a direct.
Ed,
Pause.
Ed,
Pause.
why are you pausing?
What's your nickname, Corey? Everybody
Press
give him
C
a
to chat.
nickname. Everybody give him a nickname.
It's press C to chat. Press C to podcast.
Press C to
It's
Corey.
right there. It's easy. It's easy.
Okay.
I meant to introduce myself that way, but I did not. I failed as a host,
Mm-hmm.
but it's fine.
I'm glad you
The
acknowledged it.
backwards hat man himself, Corey.
It's true. I did try to turn my hat around one time, and everybody's like, "No!" And I'm like, "Okay,
You have a
bringing
brand.
it back."
True.
I do.
True.
It's too late to change it. It's too late to change it. The Fred Durst jokes aside, too late to change it.
You brought that up. You brought that up.
I
You
did.
did that to yourself.
I'm doing our mean tweets episode right now.
Hilarious.
We are here, everyone. Not because we all love each other very, very much, but because there was a Nintendo Direct today revealing the Nintendo Switch 2 in its fullest with a bunch of games, release date, prices, tech, and massive third-party support, it looks like.
Yeah.
So
Huge.
overall thoughts, the quick thoughts, just one at a time. Just give your 30-second thoughts. Ed, I'm gonna go to you first. 30-second thoughts on the Direct today.
It pretty much was a perfect 10. It was everything. Got third-party support. The first-party games from software doing stuff on Switch with Nintendo. That's that's really crazy. Seeing no Mario game, like platformer, which is interesting, and no Platinum games. But I think they're working with Koei Tecmo for Ninja Gaiden 4, so they may have something later. But overall, loving what they showed. Looks like they're going to give a run for some people's money this year or coming years, I should say.
I expected the perfect 10 from you. It's a Nintendo show. I expected it. That's why
I'm glad somebody said it.
Hey, he can feel how he wants to feel. It's fine. All of our opinions are valid here, except for mine. Stephanie, what did you think of the Direct?
I'd say it's a near 10, but I wasn't expecting perfection with this Direct. And to be quite honest with you, I think this is one of the few Directs that actually completely satisfied my expectations, which doesn't mean it's a 10 out of 10. It just means...
Freeze?
I think she froze.
Oh,
You guys hear me? Am I good? So, you good?
Yep. I hear
Yeah.
you now.
Yeah, just everything that I've heard, not everything, rumors, leaks, and our thoughts of, it being a better iteration of the Switch just kind of fell in line. I expected better third-party support. I expected some other IPs to come back around like Donkey Kong because of, the Mario movie. So everything actually kind of fit what I was expecting, and I'm relatively happy about it. The things that will either make for a funny memory or something maybe we can discuss later is the funny little lag that happened for a little while.
Yeah, I
Hashtag-
texted
Hashtag
Ed.
someone's getting fired.
Yeah, I texted Ed. I was like, my audio is extremely behind this video, and then the video froze. I'm like,
Yeah.
and it was storming here, so I was like, wait, did my video just freeze? Did it just?
Same.
I asked Grayson was watching it, and it happened to him too. Also, I think it happened to like everybody. Besides, I think the UK was the only one that was good. I don't know about the Japanese one though.
Yeah, and like the paid tech demo, the camera sharing, screen share, I'm not convinced yet.
Yeah.
To see if it's really
Very 2007 webcam Skype.
Yeah.
Very good.
I know we're not there yet, but I do like the look of the camera. How
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
like
That was
they're
really
trying. Like I appreciate the attempt. Like there's the specs of the Switch itself that I love, and these more gimmicky, fun things. I will see how well they're executed. So I just say
Mhm.
satisfactory Direct. A lot to get excited about. It's just a couple of interesting quirks here and there.
Yeah. I'll share my thoughts in a minute. Andre.
I mean, this Direct kind of just fit the bill. Everything that we've been wanting, seen from leaks, overall thoughts kind of just fell into line. There was a ton of things that like I was like, holy cow. There is a ton of third-party support, accessories out the wazoo, the mouse control, the gimmicks, everything was there. And as excited as I am, as much as I want to run through a field and just scream, I think at the end of the day, like, we all just kind of need to just see this thing like in person and play it. And that, I think, will be the defining, okay, this is elite and this is the next thing for Nintendo, or that's going to be the, oh, okay, this is just another tablet.
Yeah. Josh.
Oh boy. I'm gonna buck the trend here a little bit. This is like a solid 7.5, 8-ish for me. Now part of that is influenced by the information we got immediately post Direct because of the lack of certain specifics during the Direct. We had an hour-long show with no price point. None.
Yes, thank you. I forgot to say that.
No
That
price
was a big
point,
thing too.
and we're obviously going to get into it, but the price point isn't exactly the concern, but not having that is a wild move. And then the price of the software is another one. So it's very hard for me to go back and look at what's going on and say, hey, this is good, when I'm obviously so frustrated with what happened. That being said, I think that the first party lineup it's fine. As someone who like is more recent coming back to Nintendo with the Switch 1, this didn't like light my world on fire. Metroid Prime 4 would have been the thing that lit me on fire, but we got that last week. So like not bad. About what I expected it to be about this. I expected it to be about 7.5 or an 8. I felt like it was kind of a disjointed presentation. Like we jumped from tech to a game, to accessories, to Switch Online, back to games, back to first party. And it just felt very all over the place. And like we've talked about it on other shows, the need for structure. We talk about it all the time with the summer showcases, with, the Keeleys, with Xbox, with PlayStation. Nintendo's not exempt from that. And this was just kind of like the perfect amalgamation of stop. Please just pick a lane. Let's finish this thought and then go to another one. But it's fine. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
But thank you again for bringing up the price point, because I put that in my banter that's going to be published on the website tomorrow. In the end, the price is what the price is going to be. And I thought like the factual information would be kind of important to put in there.
It's inexcusable in 2025 to not have the price in your main presentation.
And they never gave a pre-order date. That came out afterwards.
That too. I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah.
I had to go when we have to go to the release from Golan PR to find out what's happening. It's pretty bad.
I assume the price and everything would be like the last thing they show. Hey, by the way,
Yeah, or like all that
almost like every reveal ever.
Yeah,
I thought the price was going to be pretty much like attached to the hip of like the actual release date. When they put the release date out there, I was like, where's the price? But we went through all that, and at the end of the show, we're talking about like the bundle, the console's coming out, and there's going to be a bundle of a game, and it's like, wait, what the hell's the price?
Yeah,
I even assume that like. I feel they showed the release date like really early. Like I was like, cool, but I assumed it would be like, so this is the Switch 2, the bundle, June 5th.
They messed up with the release date, because when they talked about the party chat thing, they were like, people will be able to use it for people will be able to use it for free for the first year. And I was like, oh, for the first year? When's the console coming out?
Yeah,
they messed that up.
Wait, what's going on?
Yeah,
what I got to say as far as my verdict on this, I can actually take it in 30 seconds. I thought it was a decently balanced Direct itself and things like that. I do agree with Josh, like it was kind of all over the place, which I don't know, like we've been doing this, the Boss Rush gang, we've been doing this for a while now. Like we know the power of structure. So why is a multi-billion-dollar company like Nintendo not doing structure when it's the most coveted thing that they have in their lineup? Like this thing's been coveted for like for like 3 years at this point now. So what's going on? It was pretty balanced. I'm also in the same regards. Probably a 7 or 8 out of a 10 and stuff like that. It did some things well. It did some things not too well, and it did some things that just made people scratch their heads.
Yeah. As for me, real quick, yeah, I kind of sit in that 7.58 range too. I felt like they spent a lot of time on the console itself, which is fine, right? But it just felt like it started slow, and then they started showing off Switch 1 games that got the upgrade stuff, which is like that could have been an email type thing, right? I wish they would have spent a little bit more time on the games that are coming out, like Donkey Kong and Mario Kart and Hyrule Warriors, right? Like those are 3 pretty decent games to come out in the first year, and they weren't shown until close to the end, except for Mario Kart, kicking it off with Mario Kart. So also I think we've been anticipating this thing for so long that the excitement and expectations, whether we knew it or not, were higher than we probably wanted them to be in a way. And so like it was trying to meet impossible expectations, I think, as a whole. But regardless, like I'm excited for the console. I'm excited for Mario Kart. The Donkey Kong game looks interesting. I'm excited for the GameCube stuff. So we'll get there too. But
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Because I was going to transition. So if you have something else to.
Okay. No, a one sentencer before you transition, LeRon, you're right. When I looked closer, the Koichi Kawamoto, the producer, as much as he was a delightful man, his suit really bugged me.
The oversized.
Oh my! I was like, dude, did you raid your father's closet?
I was going to say it's like 2 kids were standing on top of each other in a suit jacket.
Mm-hmm. I also
actually everybody's clothes were ill-fitting. If I'm being honest.
To that point, though, like nobody recognizable was in this either, like presenting anything, which I think kind of, it's really exciting when you see Miyamoto go out there and hold up a, like wearing like a Pikmin shirt or like have a fake Master Sword in his hand or whatever, right? But like nobody knows who these guys are, and clearly this is the next generation of Nintendo coming up, right? I mean, sadly or not, like I mean, probably one of the last consoles Aonuma and Miyamoto are going to be working on if this thing lasts as long as the Switch does, right? So we got to know the new generation at some point, and that I think that kind of threw off a lot of things too. But we're gonna transition. LeRon, I'm gonna lean on you for this. Okay. We did finally get real specs for this console, right? Mm-hmm. It's a pretty beefy handheld, I think. I think obviously a lot of these specs are either Nintendo's going to optimize their games very well for these things, or it's kind of fluff for third party. You know what I mean? Like when PlayStation 5 said 8K on the box for a while, that kind of thing. But regardless, LeRon, tell us about the specs of this console.
Okay, all right. So first of all, it was there were some nice little surprises in there for me. If we break this down, line by line, it's got a 7.9-inch LCD display screen with HDR support, which I'm actually happy about. There are actual like video files out there that they love, like seeing like HDR support and all that stuff, which is good. The screen itself has 120 hertz refresh rate, and if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that for the most part, like in dock mode, it'll also support those refresh rates up to 120 hertz. I can't remember. I can't remember specifically if I saw anything for past it, like 144. But
it's 120. It's 120 across the board.
Yeah. 1080p resolution in handheld mode. Finally, I feel like that should have been a thing for the Switch OLED, but whatever. Up to 4K resolution when docked, which is very nice. You know, a lot of people are getting what they asked for as far as like the display side of it and things like that. So that's great. Performance wise, yeah, it's officially confirmed. It is the custom NVIDIA T239 chip based on Ampere architecture, which means it's like, okay, this is the tech guy in me, like Ampere, that's 3 generations behind on the current GPUs, stuff like that. Actually four, but you know, I'll give it 3 because, you know, like technically this T239 chip is actually a better version than what was in our GTX 1080s and stuff like that. So we'll do that. 8-core ARM Cortex processor. Okay, just to dumb it down just a little bit, it's basically a processor that also does graphics and stuff like that. So I feel very good about that. 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM. Basically almost a standard at this point, because we are also, as far as the PC side goes, like, you know, we're on a newer generation of LPDDR. As a matter of fact, we're a little bit better than that. So yeah, not bad. DLSS technology, that is one thing that, you know, like only PC gamers are really going to know and respect. But trust me, DLSS is a game changer because basically it's using AI algorithm and stuff to actually enhance your graphics and make the performance better. So you'll be able, and it also saves a little bit of power on the system itself. So it's not going to be a big power draw because it's actually going to be using computational stuff to actually make games on lower resolutions look like the highest resolution you can get. Like that. So awesome on that. Storage wise, we're looking at 256 gigabytes of internal storage, which is a big deal considering that our old boy switches, you know, were just 32 gigs. So man.
So question.
Yes.
Did they confirm if this is solid state storage or flash storage?
Didn't hear about that actually. So it's actually, I may have to look into that. I didn't even think about it this morning when I was watching the actual direct show. So like, I'll
imagine it's Flash.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Flash too because, you know,
I'm looking it up now.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, solid state. There's only right now the PS5 is the only one that offers actual true solid state. Yeah. So
PS5 or PS5 Pro?
Both.
PS5.
The PS5 family.
It's Flash.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's Flash.
And expandable memory via SD memory cards. Now, here's the thing, though. This is a newer class of micro SD cards. It's the micro SD Express cards, which Samsung was the first ones to trot those out and stuff like that. So your old school SD cards, like where I know I have one on my desk somewhere. Oh well, whatever. It's like your old school SD cards are not going to work on this. So don't think you're going to be able to just pull your 256 or 480 gigabyte SD cards out of your switches and just throw us right in the Switch 2. They're not going to be compatible.
So what is it called now? Like, what is the special?
It is the micro SD Express.
When did those come out? Like, when did they?
They've been out. They've been out. They've been on the market. I had to look them up. They've been out on the market for at least a year now.
Oh, okay. So they're like kind of, because I know everybody was just looking at the regular SD cards since the regular Switch. I haven't heard anyone talking about Express SD cards.
They're the ones that just say they're the ones that say EX on them, right?
No, they're not. No, they actually have like a banner that says Micro SD Express. As a matter of fact, if you give me a second, Corey, I'll share a link to you. You can actually throw it up on the what's.
Yeah, they show it in the direct when they're showing the cards and stuff. I just didn't know that they were out because I didn't know they had the new cards out or anything.
Well, I'm looking at one that says Express card, and there's like clearly a EX printed on the card. That's what I was.
Those have been around for years. The ones that just have the EX on them, but they're not Express. EX.
I didn't know if that was like an indicator because the title of the card says Micro SD XC Express card. I just didn't know if that EX logo was like a
no, because crap. Where is it? This is just an Evo card. The one I have right here. This is the Evo card. I know I have one that has EX. And EX just means it has a better transfer speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't they more expensive too?
A little bit,
yes.
not by much.
A little bit, not by much, because the one that SanDisk offers is 128 gigs is $45, and the 256 is $10 more. So like, well, $15 more technically. Bad math, my bad.
And I'm assuming those probably would drop once Switch 2 come out and the sales start picking up for them.
Actually, micro SD cards don't get really expensive until you get past the 512 range. So like this is good pricing for these.
The 1 terabyte and stuff.
But I'm gonna recommend, and this is just a cheat code for everybody, for all the gamers out there. Don't buy the proprietary Nintendo ones. You're gonna get host run your money on that one.
You're paying for a logo at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I want a mushroom on mine.
Hey, then spend that money.
Do you enjoy being poor?
Stephanie, I think you're going to ask me something. I'm sorry, I've just been talking.
No. That's why I wanted to put it in the chat so I wouldn't interrupt you.
Yeah.
And it came up when, just coincidentally, when you were talking about performance, and we'll get to the games that will be on the Switch 2, for example. I hate to say that I was looking at a Kotaku article, but I was. And it was complaining about the potential battery life. It could be as low as 2 hours, but up to, I believe, 6. And they were comparing it to all the other ones, probably because of the more demanding games. So I'm not sure if that makes sense. Yeah, it says Nintendo confirmed that the next gen device will run from anywhere from 2 to 6.5 hours, but that's a pretty big range. Any thoughts on that battery range?
Is this like the Steam Deck around that saying?
Yeah, like for the Steam
kind
Deck,
of industry standard at this point.
It is, yeah.
I can vouch because I played games on my Steam Deck where it's like, for example, Ghost of Tsushima, I would get like on a full charge, 2.5 hours. I'm playing on like medium settings.
Yeah,
But
that's
if I
about the
play,
same
like-
that I get from I get from my ROG Ally X.
Yeah, and then say if me and LeRon were playing Monster Hunter, I get like 2 hours, maybe like hour 45. But if I play Half-Life 2, I get like 6 hours. It's easy.
Yeah.
So
It's all about how powerful the game is pulling the draw on the hardware. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
the
then-
main thing.
I don't know if the Switch 2 is gonna do it, but on the Steam Deck, I can like manipulate how much like power the game is taking, and then like how much like wattage and everything.
I would guarantee you that's not happening.
The Switch
No.
Switch is not going to. The Switch is not going to have to where we might control it, but cooked into the actual software itself, the game might push out like, hey, like this is how much power it's going to draw and all that stuff. There may be something in the game itself that regulates that, because.
Or if you change the resolution settings in the, like, I think that's probably
on your main console, yeah.
About the because like I don't need it to run at 1080p in handheld mode. I'm gonna drop that to 720p. Right? I mean, it's an 8-inch screen. It's an 8-inch screen.
I need it 1080p.
I think that's probably why they put the USB-C, like that additional one at the top. So if it's getting close, you can still play it handheld, connect it, and then keep playing till it charges.
Yeah, don't have that Dreamcast problem.
It's for those of us who like to play in bed.
Yeah.
And we don't want the plug constantly sticking us in the stomach.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that, though. It does have two USB types. It does have two USB Type C ports, which I want to see what the expansionability of those are. Besides just using one for charging and using one for accessories. I want to see what they can actually do with that, because like there's a lot of like Andre, Stephanie, you guys know, because like we all have PC handhelds. Like there's a lot of expandability with our additional ports on there. Like you can hook up iGPUs to them, which like iGPU is basically an external graphics card. Like, not saying the Switch is going to do that. God, that'd be awesome if the Switch could do that. But there's a whole bunch of functionality and expandability when you have multiple USB ports that aren't just being used for the accessories or for charging.
I know there's a ton of like AR glasses, like the company Vitcher, I believe. So I wonder if the Switch 2 will have the ability where you can plug in the glasses, then like have that
experience. I think probably over time they'll probably include more functionalities that use it. I think right now it's just like basic.
They can always push a software update to unlock.
Well, as long As long as they don't do the dumb shit they did with the Bluetooth functionality on the Switch, we'll be all right. Because it took 4 fucking years, but whatever.
Can I interject something real quick about
what's up?
before we move on?
Yeah.
The specs on this are like we just said, they're pretty close to what the standard non-OLED Steam Deck is right now. I think that takes me back a little bit that it's not an OLED screen right off the bat. I think if you've played the Switch versus like the Switch Lite or the OLED, like it is very clear how good the OLED screen is. Like I was not a believer until I actually bought one myself, and it was just night and day with how good it was. So to not have that here, it does feel like, oh, we're probably heading for another round of, oh, here's the Switch 2 Lite, like next holiday when it's been 18 months. And then, oh, here's the OLED one, like the next time you have a mainline Zelda game. Oh, here's the OLED Switch. Like, I don't really love when companies do that, but like outside of that screen, the specs are pretty impressive for what they've packed into a Nintendo handheld. Like, I think we all think stereotypically like, oh, and like by we all, I don't mean like necessarily the people on this panel, but as a gaming community, think of, as gamers with a Z, we think of Nintendo as this company that just like doesn't care about specs and like is fine with like being a few generations behind. I mean, like, look at how the Switch was in comparison to the PS4 and Xbox One. Like, this is a massive step up from the first Switch.
This is definitely a massive step up.
They essentially looked at the Xbox Series S, tuned it down just a little bit in some areas and tuned it up in others. Like, it's got 16 gigs of RAM and the Series S has 10. They basically took that and crammed it into a handheld is what they did here.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important because yes, the Switch was the first of like these portable consoles that we had, because I don't count like Game Boy, 3DS, Vita, like I don't count any of that. Like it started this trend. Like obviously Steam Deck has now taken off. You've seen things like the ROG Ally. We know Xbox is making a handheld. It's very clear that with the third-party support that we saw today also that they are trying to shift the industry rather, I should say, not necessarily Nintendo, but the industry is shifting more towards, okay, our games need to, at bare minimum, they have to run good on the Steam Deck and the Switch 2. And if both of those are good benchmarks, and then you have Xbox coming out with their handheld in the next 18 months like we expect, that's going to be the baseline. I think you're going to see less of a focus on the hyper-realistic, like 5090 graphics cards from NVIDIA and more on this because people don't have money. They're strapped for cash. Gaming is an expensive hobby. This is a way to still keep it affordable for families, for kids, for students. I mean, for people on the go. Like I am finding myself using the smaller, less powerful consoles more and more just because like they're smaller. I use my Series S every single day. I use my Switch pretty regularly.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, I also believe the reason why this has not come out the gate with an OLED system is because of an OLED screen. I'm sorry, is because they needed to save some money. Save some money.
Right, and like we'll get it. Like we'll get into the price, but like I saw people complaining about the price, and I don't necessarily disagree with the people who are frustrated about the price. I do think it's probably $50 more expensive than they were planning on it being. I do think that the price was supposed to be around $400, and given the specs in a handheld, that's not bad. It's a 4K dock that's being included with it. Also, like it's good. Like that dock is the most impressive thing for me out of all the tech specs.
Yeah.
So if that really is uprising to true 4K, and you're telling me it can put it at 120 frames both on the dock and handheld, that's massive. That's massive for a system that with the Switch 1, it felt like it was chugging in handheld mode even from the beginning when you would try to play something like Breath of the Wild. So if I can get consistent performance in handheld mode, I'm here for it. Even if that means, hey, I'm going to tone it down and be like, oh, I'm going to run 780p with 60 frames, but it's going to be a stable 60 frames. I'm here for it.
Yep. Yeah. Just to go ahead and finish rounding out the specs on this whole thing, right? We look at the breakdown of the controllers. They're redesigned magnetic Joy-Con controllers with Hall effect sticks. Trust me, Hall effect sticks are what you want. They're what you want. To specifically to prevent drift. So there we go. Because you know what? We don't have a price point for what these Joy-Cons are supposed to be.
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do? Oh,
$90.
Oh, so once again, Nintendo continues making the most expensive controller.
The Nintendo Switch Pro controller is cheaper than a pair of Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they always have been though, right? Or are they 70? I thought are they 80 or are they 70?
They're 70.
Oh,
They're
70.
They're 70. Yeah, which is why I've never bought new Joy-Cons. But okay, but two of the cooler things about this, one is one of the things we knew, and one of the things was teased. We knew that at least one Joy-Con was going to function like a mouse when detached.
Mhm.
But both Joy-Cons function as mouse controllers now.
Actually, we knew that both of them did it. I think when they first showed
they
the
revealed that.
Hey, you Nintendo enthusiasts, might have known that, but us guys who play our PlayStations, PCs, and Xboxes, we didn't know that shit. We only knew there was one.
I think it was in the first trailer when they showed
it. Josh, did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, my bad. Like I said, I'm not a Nintendo enthusiast. As a matter of fact, I'm probably the least Nintendo person on this entire panel. From
you're only here for the tech.
Jesus.
Exactly. Hey. I get my warm and jolly fuzzies where I can, you know. But
I'm sure you do.
But the C button was. The C button on the Joy-Cons was finally officially revealed or unveiled or whatever, and we now know that this is going to be used exclusive for game chat features and functionalities and stuff like that. So that was pretty exciting to see as well. And then as far as audio, we've got newly improved audio design for the system, where it has 3D audio support. And like if you guys don't know a thing or two about 3D audio support, like it actually makes things more immersive, particularly if you have like good headphones like hooked up to your system and stuff like that. So that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, tech wise, this thing is looking pretty nice. It's definitely, like Josh said, it's like a 2, maybe 3x leap over what we got with the original Switch, you know, stuff like that. And I think Nintendo was paying attention to all the speculation about, like, you know, all the speculation and all the bad talking about like the Switch, the original Switch, stuff like that. Let's look at it this way: the Switch is like 8 years old now, and like it was showing its age like 4 years ago.
Yeah. I think you know, I Ed and I talk about this all the time, but the current Nintendo leadership is extremely conservative compared to Iwata and Reggie, and I think they saw obviously the potential of the Steam Deck, and they see these other consoles, and I think they want to be obviously not as powerful as the Xbox Series X or the PS5, but like I think they want to at least have some of those games on their console to at least be somewhat competitive. And so I think this was the right move. I am overall excited. But let's move on to these first party games. We're going to talk about the first party and partner games, and then we'll talk about third party games in general, and then we'll move on to price and release date and all that stuff. It kicked off with Mario Kart World. Open world Mario Kart seems really Diddy Kong Racing of them. Glad it took them 5 generations to do that, but you know what, Andre, I'm picking on you.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about this Mario Kart?
I'm excited. One thing that I was pretty surprised by is, well, there's a lot, but I'll start with the fact that when you do a Grand Prix in normal games, you finish the race, loading screen, you can use the washroom, grab a bite to eat. Not this time. You have to get to the other track and then wait for people. I think that's a cool incentive to kind of keep you always going. Knockout tour from A to B. Can you stay in the upper echelon of the pack? Can you be the one to make it home? I think that's cool. I think it's gonna really keep you motivated to always be in first, but also keep you anxious because you're always in first, and we all know first place is a dangerous place to be. And then as my friend Josh said, they Forza Horizon to Mario Kart.
Yeah, that was my first thought as soon as I saw this. I was just like, hey, look, it's Forza Horizon.
I saw your tweet and I was like, oh my god, that's the best way to put it. Yeah, free roam. Go wherever you want, man. Do whatever you want to do till your little heart is full. They teased us with a couple boats, so our carts may turn into boats, snowmobiles. The cart customization looks like it's insane. I can't wait to be a cow. I can't wait to be a dolphin. I can't wait to be a
Snowman.
Goomba, snowman. They have everyone you've ever wanted from
You can be a Boo in a suit.
Yeah. You can be Boo with a monocle and a damn suit with a hat. Everyone in Mario that you grew up with has a cart, and it's crazy. And I'm super excited. The free roam aspect, I think, is where a lot of people are going to, again, fall in love with this game or not really enjoy it. I feel like there's a lot of things from this direct that we just have to do and play because we've all had Grand Prix, we've all done knockout stuff. The wall jumping is cool, but the free roam aspect is new, and it's going to be under a microscope, and it's going to be like right. So it's nerve wracking, but it's like I'm excited to see how free it is and what we can do. And I'm sure there's going to be Easter eggs everywhere. I'm sure every nook and cranny of this free roam world will have a little something for every game. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to playing with friends in free roam and seeing how that aspect plays as well.
Yeah, my daughter's really excited for the free roam stuff because she's not amazing at racing, but she loves to drive around in Mario Kart, and I think that benefits her. You know, she's gonna be 7 in a couple months, but she can't like wrap her hand around like the camera controls or like the steering or things like that. And so I think that's going to be really cool. To your thought on every nook and cranny having something, I wonder if that's how you like unlock suits, costumes, parts, stuff like that too, you know?
Yeah, like it would be very cool is if you have to find different parts for your cart just around the world, or like do different missions, or say if like I'm playing and say if, for example, it's me and Stephanie, Josh, and LeRon, and it's like, hey, let's go race to that tower, first one gets to win a cart part, and like something like that. Or I saw in the trailer, like if you use a certain item, you get to like change your outfit. I don't know if that's like a permanent thing or if that's just like a in the race thing, but like once you leave the track, can I keep the Hawaiian shirt and the sunglasses on Mario Kart, right? So there's tons of things I'm looking forward to, but again, there's a lot that I'm like, I just want to play it and just learn on my own.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm one of the few people that just, I don't know, I was kind of okay with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But by all means, it deserves all the success it's had, but I'm like, all right, kind of seen them all, but so I'm gonna hope to lean toward the free roam as a reason for me to get excited about the series again.
Yeah.
And just a shout out to people in the chat, the comments. What's up, DL Malone? No SpongeBob game, I know, and no Patrick the game either. Bummer, but hey, at least we got Mario Kart. Hey, Grayson.
Yeah. I think Mario Kart is played a lot in my house. I'm very excited.
Okay, so this is the first original new Mario Kart game in how many years?
Since 8 on Wii U.
So
how many years ago?
At least
10, 12.
Man, they milked the hell out of Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 was probably, if I'm not mistaken, the best-selling game on Switch.
Yeah, by like 30 million.
It has an adoption rate of like over 50%.
It's crazy. Like Mario Kart 8 is like the highest selling game on the Switch, and it's still just like, it still sells. It still makes statements.
75.8 million copies sold for both versions combined. This game came out. By the time this comes out, it will be exactly 11 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Mario Kart, people, sometimes clown on it, but it's like one of the greatest games Nintendo has ever made is Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
I mean, the Switch technically launched with Breath of the Wild, which had a decent adoption rate, but the fact that they're launching Switch 2, well, there's many games, but the Mario Kart was a smart choice.
And I think Mario Kart is the game needed for the Switch 2 to possibly like overthrow the Switch, because like the Switch didn't really have a whole lot when it first launched, but this one I think has the potential to like, and especially with Mario Kart, has the potential to be like one of the hottest things since Toast, in my opinion.
I think that's why.
Oh, go ahead, Ed.
I was just saying, that's why I think for a lot of Black Fridays in the past, when they did a lot of their bundles, Mario Kart 8 was always added on it. So
that's a good point.
I think that's why they decided to do the bundle with this Switch 2, because they feel like if we got that attach rate with this system, we probably could do it again business wise.
Yeah, I'm like the game itself, like cool. I'm actually interested in a Mario Kart for the first time since Double Dash.
I can say that. I can say that myself. I'm one of those people. Like everyone can tell you, like you want to ruin my friendship. Like throw Mario Kart or Mario Party in there. But hey, like they actually got me with not with Jamboree, but the Mario Party before that. They finally got me to say, okay, I will actively play this one, and I think like it's looking the same for Mario Kart World.
How? Well,
huh? Is that the one?
Superstar was the one before.
Yeah, like whichever one was the first official release on the Switch.
Yeah, I guess my thing that's keeping me and like has really dampened my enthusiasm is the price point. $80 is ludicrous. I promise you, I will not be paying $80 for Mario Kart.
Can we talk about the gall and the gumption that Nintendo has here we are okay.
Yeah, we're talking about price stuff at the end.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's holding me up, and it has negatively impacted my thoughts on it.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to bring up at the end, and the price is one of them, and the way that game carts are working is another one. So
all right.
My only other thing, and I promise it's the last thought that I have on this. It's not a bad choice for this to be your flagship game. I think that's actually a brilliant choice. For this to be seemingly your only like real first party game at launch is rough. Like Donkey Kong's not coming for 6 weeks after. I don't really as somebody who's like not a Super Mario Kart head, as I was just established, that doesn't really make me go, I have to run out and buy this console right now. Whereas like with the Switch, I was on the fence about the Switch, but it was Breath of the Wild. Like that was me coming back to Nintendo. Nintendo historically has had pretty solid launch lineups. And it just feels really weird that like the last couple consoles we've had outside of the PS5, like just across the board, have had really rough launch lineups. The Series X launched with nothing. It launched with a port of Gears Tactics. This is launching with just Mario Kart. The Switch launched with Snipper Clips and Breath of the Wild. Like you're saved because Breath of the Wild is like one of the singular greatest games of all time and easily the best launch lineup game since Halo Combat Evolved. To only launch with one game, like that is, first of all, like Nintendo knows that they can get away with that because it's Mario Kart. I think if you did anything other than Mario Kart or a 3D Mario game here, you were going to have a rough time selling that. On top of that, like when I look at the software coming, it just feels like, could we have at least gotten one of those games that's maybe cross-gen coming out the same? Like if you had done this with, say, Metroid Prime 4, which I know is not going to be this massive seller, Metroid historically isn't, that I think would have gotten people like me more invested in like, oh, there's something for me too right now. And not just Mario Kart, which I'll be happy to play with my partner, but it's not something that both her and I are going to be like, we're going to dump like 50 hours into this in the first month. We're going to do a few races. We're going to do a little free roam and be like, cool, when does Donkey Kong come out? So that's my only other thing. Like my stuff is all anecdotal. It's the actual game. Awesome. Here for it. Let's go.
Speaking of Donkey Kong, let's talk about it. Donkey Kong Bananza, spelled like banana, not like bonanza. Ed, tell me about Donkey Kong.
Yes, so this is going to be a 3D platform, kind of 3D action platform as you play as Donkey Kong. They're like you'll have a companion with you. You'll be able to dig into the ground, smashing. You'll be able to punch enemies. Um, it looks very beautiful. It really speaks
Mhm.
Super Mario 3D World. But enhanced with rich colors. You can be able to climb walls. It was a really nice shot that Donkey Kong is climbing the wall. You see the sunset in the back. It looks really, really nice. I'm surprised everybody didn't clown this game, be like Astrobot did it better, and all. It does that doesn't seem like to be the thing. But this game looks like it's going to be a big hit. Um, I'm glad they actually went with Donkey Kong. And I kind of like his eye movement. His eyes we kind of react on his face when he's moving around and seeing some things. And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I got
As
that. It has,
expected, he has the Mario movie design.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. It's a Donkey Kong for a new generation. It's great.
yeah.
Yeah, this is basically like the Breath of the Wild of Donkey Kong. That's how
We're
I see it.
done with the remasters and re-releases of Donkey Kong Country Returns. Finally,
I
Like,
think
it's great.
this is going to be a speed player dream. People who do a lot of trying to speed through games and stuff, because it looks like it's very fast and it looks like the movement is fluid to get around. So I want to see how people speed race this game.
I can't wait to see
Yeah.
this in GDQ.
This-
Yeah, I
And
was
this is
I was
Go
getting the Jack and Daxter vibes off of this when I saw the trailer.
yeah.
Oh.
It's the Mario Odyssey team. Also, I think it's
Okay.
worth noting.
No, that's why.
It's very worth noting.
And it's cool that they're still including those 2D elements, with the 2D levels going in to mix 3D platforming and the country style games together. So I think I think the 3D stuff will probably be easier to get through, and then the 2D levels is going to bring it that challenging difficulty that it's been known for.
This is the Mario Odyssey team, and if anything, if we're judging like the work of Mario Odyssey, New Donk City is one of the best levels of any game released in the last generation. If that combining the 2D elements with the open 3D space, if that is anything to go by, this game is going to be a contender for Game of the Year. Straight up. For me, if you had let off with this, I think my hype would have been through the roof. Like Mario Kart, sure. Like I feel like that's something you can comfortably put anywhere in a direct. If you had let off with this as your flag, she came out and I'm like, yep, let's go. But you can tell me anything after this and I'll be fine with it.
I feel like
Especially-
because Mario Kart's comfortable and they're
Sure.
like, we
Yeah.
know
Sure.
people enjoy it. So
I love when we subvert expectations. I think all of us expected a 3D Mario game. I think very few of us thought they're just going to leave Mario out of this completely and you're going to get Donkey Kong. I think we all knew a Donkey Kong game was coming, but it being a launch window game, that's pretty awesome.
I think the Mario team got something like in the works. Something
This
brand new.
This is the Mario team.
This is the Mario team.
No, but I'm saying that they probably been working on this game for a long time while
Odyssey.
trying stuff. Right, while trying stuff, but actually thinking something very new and innovative for Mario. So when the next Mario game come out, it doesn't play like Donkey Kong. It doesn't play like 3D World. It's something like brand new.
Well, I think they were trying to experiment with the Bowser's Fury thing, and right. So that would be my guess for another Mario.
Like
But
the free
we
moon
could-
DLCs for Odyssey.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, and it probably looks like what they learned from Odyssey, they probably ended up putting in Donkey Kong. So that's why I'm saying that they're trying to think. I think they're thinking outside the box. What new can we do with Mario? So when we actually get his 3D platforming game out, it's going to be something no one expected.
Yeah. Well, they always try to do that with Mario, I think, but we can speculate about that on the next show because we're going to move on to Nintendo. I'll take this one real quick just because I don't know if there's enough to say. So they showed off the what was it? The Nintendo Switch 2. What was it called? Tech demo. The tech demo thing with all the mini
Welcome
games.
Tour. I put
The
Welcome
paid
Tour.
tech demo.
Yeah, so they showed off Welcome Tour, and then they showed off Drag X Drive, Drag Cross Drive, which was like it's like a wheelchair Rocket League thing that you use the Joy-Cons as the mouse to like roll the chair, which is like okay.
I would say that I think it's really cool because they're showing like, you know, to give accessibilities for people who are in a wheelchair, and give people that feel what it feels like for them to play, to play basketball, because it is a sport that people in wheelchair do. They do play basketball, so to actually have a game like that to somewhat represent them, I think that's really cool for Nintendo to go out, because like no one else
I
is doing it.
hope they're representing it the
That
best
issue.
way that they can.
Yeah,
This is borderline either very
the ACLU is going to come after somebody.
well. It's borderline either like good for accessibility or offensive. So I'm saying that from a 2025 perspective of this type of stuff, right? So,
but I just think that it's to show people that this sport does exist, and if you want to learn more, there's things out there. I think with Nintendo, and they probably, I literally hope that they did work with people who were in wheelchairs, work with communities who know this stuff, and even works with sports teams who play basketball in wheelchairs. I hope Nintendo actually went out and worked with them to get an understanding how all of this goes to make a game like this.
And they did make it a point to announce that they were joining the ESA's kind of accessibility initiative, right? So
them and Microsoft are kind of spearheading that right now.
Yeah.
Can I,
Josh? We have a special question for you before you get your hot take. Yeah. Our old friend from Tower Casuals, Tiger Jesus 64, writes in. Josh, will you be taking any crossover questions?
No, you can ask all your crossover questions tomorrow, and I hate and love you for asking that. We have a great listener who writes in crossover questions all the time, and I love it.
Yeah.
Hot take: we should not be paying for a tech demo in a world where Astro's Playroom and Wii Sports were pack-ins.
These games should be on the console when you buy it.
They don't even have to be on the console. They can be on the store and they can be free. But both of these, I think, and I really think that this wheelchair game could be great for showing you as a tech demo how the mouse functionality is supposed to work. I think that's awesome. Some of the little things that they showed in that Welcome to the Switch 2, whatever it's called thing, like that can be cool. Like they were showing like a putting sequence, for instance, things like that. That can be cool. But how many of us don't know how to use Joy-Cons at this point?
No, I'm just kidding.
Two, just make it free. Like even $5 is too much for these. Like you want to do a tech demo. Like I feel like it's almost a rite of passage at this point that you have some kind of tech demo when you release your console. Astro's Playroom, Wii Sports, this, and then you have to have the failed vehicle game, Loco Cycle, Destruction All Stars,
1-2 Switch.
1-2 Switch is in a category of its own. Dear God, please never again.
I love feeling the balls.
Which also should have been a pack-in.
What was that ARMS game? What was that one?
Like,
Ed, where's ARMS 2?
Like, at least ARMS was a full game. Like, I'm sorry, the wheelchair basketball game, cool idea. Who's going to play this for more than 10 minutes? This should be a packet to get you familiar with the mouse functionality. Because guess what? The more people that know that you have mouse functionality and have tried it out on a free game are probably more likely to pick up and play those modes in things like Metroid Prime 4 or Civ 7. Like, this is awesome for games like Civ 7 and probably Baldur's Gate 3 eventually. This is awesome. Making us pay for demos to try it out is not awesome. This is classic Nintendo move. Showed us something really awesome with Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, and then this.
Yeah.
This is we stepped on a rake that we set out on purpose.
Well, I think everything is optional. I think for the demo one, it's just exploring the Switch and everything, and or I should say that game, because it does have many things. I think Nintendo's just like, if you really want to understand how things work in the system, we don't know what the price point is going to be for them. Here's this game that you get try out, or if you want to try out this basketball game, you could try it out. We just don't know the prices for it yet. I think it's fine for drag and drop or drag and drive. As for Welcome Tour, I think people are just going to literally ignore it. I think it's kind of for parents and small kids who's just maybe getting a console for the first time. So the Nintendo Switch 2 might be their first console, and they may not understand how to do PC controls or anything like that. I
Then
think
make something cute like Astrobot.
But I think the thing about it is that we're looking at an adult perspective. We're not thinking about an adult buying it for a kid for the new console.
Yes,
Actually, I feel
make it cute like Astrobot.
I just want to chime in really quickly on this. I think honestly this is not going to be for kids, you know, with the welcome game, because in all honesty, like have you seen kids, like have you seen how kids are really intuitive with devices and stuff like that? They're going to figure this stuff out in like the first 30 minutes that they actually use the damn thing, especially if an adult, like, hey, like the Joy-Cons attach and do this, you know, they're going to pick that up that fast. This is for them old maybe that's not the right word to say, but this is for the more mature people that, you know, like, for example, like look what Wii Sports did for, you know, the Wii. And look, I was working in GameStop, and I had like geriatric people coming in buying this system because they want to play Wii Sports, Wii Fit, like all the games that had the gimmicky stuff going on and stuff like that. But they also they had to have someone pulled aside, whether it was me in GameStop as an employee or whether it was their grandchild coming in with them and stuff like that, to show them all the gimmicks about it and stuff like that. That's what this is for. So like it is perplexing to me that they're charging a price tag for this.
That's a fair point, LeRon. Just super quick, like I just feel that and I'm talking about the younger generation, like around 7, 8, 9, their attention span is really bad, like a flash cube, because I passed down a Switch to a particular individual child, and the child just like had no patience to even try to figure it out. Not even to try to figure it out. I'm like, okay. Okay, I'll take it back.
Yeah, so I don't think this is gimmick towards kids, more to like adults, because like I work IT, and like I tell people all the time, hey, it's time to reboot your computer, and sometimes I get the question like, how do I do that?
Yeah. Andre, you said you had something to say before we move on to Zelda.
I feel like this tech demo should be like when you buy the Switch 2, this should be like after you start it, this should be the first thing that pops up. It's like, do you want to take the tech demo? Yes or no? That way it's like kind of an introduction. And after the tech demo, then you're kind of into your system. That way there's no like, what does this do? So what does that do? That was it.
Yeah.
Boom. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Another year, another Zelda product here on the Nintendo Switch, as they as Furukawa said he wanted a Zelda game out every year, and they're continuing that promise with Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Stephanie, how do you feel as the Zelda person here?
It's funny you say that, because I'm a massive Zelda fan, obviously, but I haven't really partaken in the spin-off games. I really lost interest quickly in the original Hyrule Warriors. I bought but never played the second Hyrule Warriors, the Age of Calamity. But this one looks very, very interesting. I think the evolution of the Koei Tecmo Dynasty Warrior style games for Zelda has evolved. I think the first one completely non-canonical.
Yeah.
The second one, Nintendo like claimed it was going to be part of the story, but then it kind of wasn't, and then it kind of fell short. But from the little bits that I've seen, I'm like, this seems to be like actually intentionally wanting to tell us the story of the imprisoning war, which is something I wanted to learn about. And I thought to myself, playing the game, like, you know what, if they make another Warriors game, it's going to be on the imprisoning war, and here it is. Also, I love that we're going to see more of Raru. I love that character in Tears of the Kingdom. I wish there was more of him. I freaking love, and I cannot wait to fight it as this dude. This dude is badass. So while it is a Warriors game, I feel like this will be a lot of fun. I feel like it will be kind of more either story focused or quote unquote part of the lore. Also, there will be associated amiibo. You'll have the 3 champions, and I also think one of the guardians as well. So
did they release pictures of those?
I've only seen the
Nintendo Japan.
Oh my god, the ones from TOTK.
Side on.
Yeah. Josh tweeted it, and I was like, oh my god! But
that's the only one I care about. My boy is here.
My boy, side on.
So the fact that the Nintendo's still making amiibo, perfect, and because they're Zelda ones, I'm definitely going to buy them.
All of them.
Yeah, and all of them.
All of them.
I'm gonna go broke.
Them making another construct like the Guardian is awesome.
Yes. Absolutely love it. I really wish that there was a Raru in there. You never know, that might still get thrown in, but if they haven't mentioned it by now, I don't know. But it is
Nintendo
what
will
it is.
make one later.
So should be
Yeah.
noted that the 4 or 5 that they announced today are technically Tears of the Kingdom one. They are not technically for the Koei Tecmo game, so you may
Yeah.
still get your wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. So you never know. Yeah, because they did spend some time, by the way, talking about how there will be upgrades for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and Zelda Notes, which we may or may not cover later. But I do think that this next Warrior style game will be nice. I guess this will be the Zelda game of this year.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. And and we'll get to it in a little bit, but Wind Waker on GameCube too.
Oh God.
So
yeah.
not the version I wanted, but I'll accept. Andre,
Point. Yes, sir.
how do you feel? How do you feel about this? Are you a Hyrule Warriors fan?
I've always wanted to play, but I think it's just for the fact that it's been up for so long and still like full price. I'm like, I physically just can't bring myself to be like, yeah, here's like
the good old Nintendo curse.
and it's just like I've watched gameplay and I've wanted to play it just because I've wanted to just get immersed in that. But the hack and slash, I'm not a big fan, but there's the other side of me that's like it's part of the story, kind of want to see what it's about, etc. etc. So this one, I'm kind of in the same boat as Steph, where it's like, it's cool. Will I play it? I don't know. If it's on sale, I might get it. Looks cool. Excited to see more lore. Raru. So
Nice. Ed, we've talked quite a bit about Hyrule Warriors over the years.
Yes.
How are you feeling about this?
I cannot wait for this game to drop. I think a lot of people just thinking, oh, it's just hack and slash. No, it's a lot of content in this game with different characters. The music is always good. It gets very challenging with it. Like, I'm excited to learn about what is taking place before Tears of the Kingdom starts. And that's kind of how Age of Calamity was, what took place before Breath of the Wild to start it. So they were able to fill in the gaps and everything. So instead of us getting a kind of 3-part story, Corey, like a trilogy, we're actually getting 4. We're getting the full Breath of the Wild experience, or this Legend of Zelda universe experience with it, and it just looks beautiful. The music is just going to be crazy. I love the part where Zelda freezes time and you see the arrows moving where her sword is going. I'm just like, oh, this looks so cool. And then for some people, Zadidorf is going to be in this game, so I and people probably be able to play them. So I cannot wait to see what they have more. Koei Tecmo normally does a lot of warrior games and everything. So I'm surprised that they started off this year as this game being as for a part of the Zelda. I think I was talking to Grayson and I told him, like, I think the Anuma and the team are like now in the thinking stages, probably with Monolith Soft. They're probably in the thinking stages of what is going to be the next Zelda game and how it's going to look. They may be trying like art styles, probably thinking of story ideas for it, and I think this is a game that will hold us over
I have
for
a
it.
theory about that, but I'll save it.
What's the theory?
I think me and you have talked about it, Corey, like my thoughts on like where they could go next for the
Yes.
Yeah. We've talked about
We're
it.
going to do an expansion pass on that soon. And I think now is the best time to do it, actually, because of this game being hyped. I expect Stephanie to be on that episode too. Josh, LeRon, you have anything to say about Hyrule Wars before we move on?
Not,
That was funny.
I have nothing negative to say about this. This game looks cool, and the fact that I'm also one of those people that I'm kind of like I'm invested in like the lore of Legend of Zelda, even though like I'm very stubborn about the Zelda games I play. Like you guys know me, I love the classic like style Zelda games, which is why like Echoes of Wisdom was definitely one of those ones I was like, oh, I gotta get it, you know. But yeah, you know, like this would probably be in my library at some point. One,
That
you
you
know,
won't play.
huh? Yeah,
What?
exactly,
What?
exactly.
I'll play this. I liked the little bit I played of Age of Calamity. I think Three Hopes was really good. They've done a good job at kind of refining the formula around Zelda and Fire Emblem at this point. I think my only takeaway from this was though I got excited about Imprisoning War because that's something we've heard about in the Zelda lore for like 20 years now, and to actually be able to see some of it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the rug pull of seeing Zelda on screen and you thinking that, oh my god, this looks like a mainline Zelda game, and then reviewing that it's a Warriors game, even though we already had the Koei Tepco logo, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I really thought we were getting a Breath of the Wild styles game with Zelda as the main character. And that rug pull sucked.
Yeah. Stephanie, last thought?
Yeah, just quick last few thoughts is I'm pretty sure y'all remember when Nintendo told us in a direct years past that they weren't going to make Tears of the Kingdom DLC. And I think most people were fine with that given how big the game was. So I think this spin-off within the Tears of the Kingdom kind of story, universe, whatever, is a great substitute and probably the better choice instead of a DLC, number one. And number two, I just wanted to share, I did watch this with my son as well, and when he started seeing the Tears of the Kingdom like mural, he did like a double take and his eyes were so wide and it brought him true joy. So
yeah, my daughter was really excited because she's into Princess Zelda as a character, not the games particularly, but just as a character. And like this is the version she knows because she's watched me play Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. So like, you know, she was pretty excited. I showed her some of the trailers from this, and this was one of them. And so
I know we're about to move on, but I got to go to Nintendo for actually working with 3 teams on the Zelda franchise now. This is the only like series, like Koei Tecmo got the Hyrule games, Grezzo does the 2D style games, and then Nintendo and Monolith Soft does the main games. Like that's crazy that actually happened on the Switch, and that's probably going to be the continued theme for this universe, for this IP.
Speaking of the IP, let's talk about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom because it's a new Nintendo console, so they got to release the Zelda games again, right? So we're going to talk about those, and before we move into the third-party games, Nintendo said that they were going to offer Switch 2 upgrades to specific Switch games. I don't know if a price was announced for these updates for Switch
Not
2.
yet.
But if you are an
Prices
expansion,
are out.
if they are,
yes, prices have been listed for these for the Switch 2 versions of these games, at least at Target and Walmart. They are about $10 more than what they currently are retailing for in most cases.
Okay, yeah, I wonder if you own the game, like the if it's like the PlayStation does like the $10 update upgrade or whatever.
Maybe.
But they are going to offer Switch 2 versions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, as well as Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon Legends ZA, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is getting a secondary campaign called Star-Crossed World, and then Super Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV, and that will include 3 new or updated modes for the game, and then obviously just by the console being more powerful, it will enhance other games most likely for free.
They did release, Corey, the list of there's going to be some other Switch games that's going to get the update for free.
All right, just list them off real quick, and then we'll talk about this.
It's going to be ARMS, Big Brain Academy, Captain Toad Treasure Tractor, Clubhouse Games, 51 Worldwide Games, Game Builder Garage, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Well, I think that one is going to be be paid, but I think that's free with NSO. New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is going to be free. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser Fury is free. Super Mario Odyssey is going to be free, and then Link's Awakening is going to be free also. Link's and Echoes of Wisdom is going to be free.
So all these are all first party games. I think it's worth noting. Switch 2 versions of these games. I think some of them make more sense than others. I think we could all agree that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, as great as they were, could probably use a boost.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Absolutely.
Not to mention now they got companion apps, which Breath of the Wild now has Google Maps in it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because the first thing I thought about is like, this is going to be like a privacy nightmare. Because you're linking your phone and your personal data up to a game. And I can just see like the ad bots and all this stuff going crazy. Plus the fact that there's a good possibility everybody's getting hacked. Google's getting hacked. Microsoft's getting hacked. Nintendo's going to get hacked, and personal data's going to get there.
We had this 10 years ago with smartphones and Xbox. It was called Smart Glass. I don't know if you guys remember that. Dead Rising 3 had a mini-map function, and you could call in artillery strikes and care packages.
Yeah, and also, if you have the Switch smartphone app to chat with your friends, it's already linked to your Switch and your account.
Good God.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, I saw the rollout and I was like, ooh, this is going to be a hot potato.
I want one opinion from you PC people real quick. I think these upgrades are good. Obviously Xbox does smart delivery for free, which is a nice perk. If you have expansion
standard.
NSO plus expansion pass, you get these upgrades for free. Well, it's part of your subscription, I guess. The most interesting one to me is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yep.
Because they were, oh my gosh, Tiger Jesus, I hate you.
I love it. Hey, listen.
Gosh.
Hey, listen.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was shown played with one Joy-Con and a Joy-Con as a mouse. LeRon, you're the biggest PC player that I know at the moment. How does that make you feel?
I'm very mixed, because like the console, I know what they're going for here. Like Metroid Prime 4 is like their de facto like FPS game and stuff like that. I know what they're going for. They're trying to actually draw like the PC shooter crowd in, but I feel like it's a little half cooked. If we're being honest, like it's a nice feature and all stuff, but no one's we're gonna try it out, just like how a whole bunch of people tried out Monster Hunter Tri. They were using the Wiimote stuff, which I actually thought was pretty fun, but at the same time I was like, where's my Pro controller?
That's what I say anytime motion control is involved.
I think I tried Skyward Sword for like 5 minutes, and then I said, "All right, I'm cool. I just need."
It's a gimmick. People are gonna try it, sure, but no one's really gonna be dead. Well, I mean, the purists are gonna be dedicated. The ones that are like, oh, there's a mode in here, so I'm gonna play the game with this mode. And stuff like that. But for the most part, I feel like it's a gimmick.
You're a gimmick.
Oh, I am. Yeah. I am.
All right.
I'm a 6'3", 240 plus pound gimmick. Yeah.
One more note on these upgrades. With Switch Online, you only get the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom upgrades. You do not get all of them.
That's fair. That's fine.
And the pricing, I have that pulled up too. The pricing for these, Kirby and Forgotten Land, Tears of the Kingdom, and Mario Jamboree will all be $80 a piece, and Breath of the Wild will be $70 if you're buying the Switch 2 editions. So I don't know what the standalone prices are going to be, but I would imagine 10 for regular upgrades and 20 for the ones that are getting expansions. That would be in line with their current pricing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, they're really ripping the Band-Aid off of that $80 price tag on games, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some words about that, but also.
We all have words.
My only other thought on this is just it's the same thing Corey already echoed. I don't understand why we're paying for upgrades on 2 out of 3 consoles now in the year of our Lord and Savior 2025. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. In an already very expensive hobby, consoles are supposed to be your entry point, and I don't think you should have to pay for those. For things that are just graphical and frame rate upgrades, I don't think you should have to be paying for them. Stuff like Jamboree and like the Kirby expansion, I'm fine. Sure, charge me $15-$20 for that, whatever.
Mhm.
But to just get improved frame rates and a smartphone app feels bad. That's my personal take. I've been on this train for a while with how PlayStation does their upgrades too. I think it's that we got really spoiled by one company doing that, but also like a lot of third-party companies jumped on that and were like, hey, yeah, sure, we'll do this for free. I think if this had been reversed and like a company had said, no, we're going to charge for this right off the bat, then it would have been, oh, everyone's going to charge.
Mhm.
So sure, it's you can make the argument, oh, well, you know, that Xbox is in third place, whatever, they had to do something. Like, yeah, I can't tell you how nice it is though to make sure that I'm getting the best version of all of my old games, going back to even like the 360 and Xbox, original Xbox. It's great. So to not be seeing that on something that I'm about to spend $500 on feels a little bad, especially when those games already didn't perform super well. In the case of the Zelda games, I can't speak to like Mario Party or anything like that, but
Yeah.
you
Mario, as somebody who's played a lot of Mario Party with his kids, let me tell you, it's flawless. Flawless.
Unbelievable.
The Wiggler, let me tell you, the giant Wiggler when he walks around in a big circle, 60 frames, flawless.
Unbelievable.
All right, let's move
Get
on.
me out of here.
We got to talk about partner and third party games. Specifically, we have
A lot.
the Dusk Bloods. We're going to talk about third party in general, but this one specifically, Nintendo has a exclusive, quote unquote. We don't know if it's timed exclusive yet or if it's an exclusive from software game, a PvPvE game.
Hey, Bloodborne people. How we feeling?
This is Bloodborne 2 with an asterisk.
How we feeling, guys?
Yeah, because like I was legit sitting there, I was like, "This is Bloodborne 2?" Like how they wrestle it from Sony.
I could feel FromSoft people seething in rage when this wasn't Bloodborne 2. Bloodborne.
I didn't feel that. I felt the seething rage that it was a Switch 2 exclusive.
Oh, there's
I've had two separate friends text me today saying I'm really about to have to go buy a $500 system to play one game.
I was shocked that
People spend $500 and $600 to play Monster Hunter.
Sure, I'm just saying, like, FromSoft has like such a cult around it now. But, like, that doesn't surprise. I know people who did it with PS4s for Bloodborne. So
I actually thought it was Castlevania. A lot of people no, because the way that he was looking, everybody didn't know that it would be like a From Software game or anything. A lot of people just like, oh, this guy with the girl lifted her hands up and everything. It looked, they're just like, could this be Castlevania? It went to
when I saw the sigil on his hand, I was like, this has to be Bloodborne.
So this is also part of a deeper connection that they're having with FromSoft, because you're getting Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. With this, which is going to come with Shadow of the Erdtree, and it's coming with other unannounced content. Which I imagine it's probably just like some armor sets or something. I can't imagine that they're going to have actual like quests and story content exclusive to this version.
That'd be crazy. If
that would be unprecedented. I feel like not necessarily unprecedented, but like to do that when you've already re-released this game twice and a brand new Elden Ring game is coming out the week before this. Would be a wild move.
It sounds like Mass Effect on the Wii U, huh?
Kind of. This is really cool though that From was front and center at this. Like From was one of 2 or 3 major third-party developers. When you see a studio that is making some of the most successful games out there right now, and then like making the Soulsborne genre, they made their own genre for God's sake, like, or at least popularized it, if nothing else. Like, that's a huge indicator of what the third-party support is going to look like. So, like, yeah, it's really cool they got an exclusive game, but I think the partnership with From is probably more exciting, knowing like what's coming in the future. Because what else could you get here? You never got Dark Souls 2 and 3 on the Switch. Remastered did not run super well. Could you get Dark Souls 2 and 3? Could you get Sekiro here? If you're getting Elden Ring, you can get everything else. Is Night Rain going to come here? That's another question we have to start asking. Like, probably not at launch since it's not crossplay, but it's so cool that now we can have that conversation of, oh my God, like a new FromSoft game was announced. Is it going to come here? Is Armored Core going to be the next one to come? You know, like outside of Demon Souls and Bloodborne, pretty much everything from is on the table now.
Well,
That's huge.
I mean, it's probably one of the biggest Japanese companies that was missing out because, like Konami, Bandai Namco, Koei Tecmo, Capcom, all of them were being successful.
Bandai Namco could have brought it over at any time. They owned the Dark Souls IP.
I mean, Dark Souls Remastered is on Switch. I think a lot of people.
We got an amiibo.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that all those Japanese companies that work with Nintendo, Front Software was making a lot of third party for like Activision and Bandai Namco for Xbox, PC, and Sony. So they missed the Switch one, which is probably a power thing.
It's absolutely a power thing. Make no mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Front Software could have even made a game fit for Nintendo Switch. Capcom did it with Monster Hunter Rise before they ported it. You know, I think Front Software could have did something like that. That was probably something from left field, or even a IP that was just like very creative if they wanted to. But I think Front Software focused more on the other consoles, which is not a bad thing or anything.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. This is a great indicator for what can happen with third-party partnerships now.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I just want to put Matt out of his misery, and I'm going to say the word capitalism.
Yeah, I think From Soft having this game exclusively for however long is going to be really interesting to see how more companies kind of adjust their business model around this console. Obviously, you know, if this and the Steam Deck are along similar lines tech wise, you know, I could see a lot more kind of happening. You know, we did see a sizzle reel with stuff like Star Wars Outlaws, and obviously Borderlands 4 was shown here, and the one I have a big question mark about is Cyberpunk 2077.
Who's ready for their Switch 2 to melt in their hands?
I'm ready to walk forward with a T-pose and turn around and see no cars.
Yeah, I was excited to see some of the games that you're going to see here. Like, it made sense. Elden Ring is going to be here. Street Fighter 6 is coming. Yakuza 0, like Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, Yakuza series. That's a big one that we finally got that there, and they did hint that, you know, looking for more from the series for the Switch. I'm like, great.
Madden and EAFC are both back. Like, I cannot underscore to you guys how important it is that if these are the real versions of the game and not like the almost iOS versions that we were getting for a while, if these are the real versions, like the Series S-esque versions, that is insane pickup. Like, that's maybe the biggest movement in Madden and like sports games since Xbox got them to come to Xbox Live in 2004.
Yeah, Madden hasn't been on.
That is the biggest thing that could happen right now.
Yeah, Madden hasn't been on a Nintendo console since Madden 13 on the Wii U, which was a launch title. So,
like, but getting Joseph Ferris up there to talk about Split Fiction, another, like we just talked about, like Donkey Kong is probably going to be a contender for Game of the Year. You got Joseph Ferris out there talking about Split Fiction, and it's going to be a day one game. And if there's one thing we know people love with the Switch, it's playing couch co-op. Split Fiction is the perfect game for it.
Yeah. I almost feel like Split Fiction could do something cool with the Switch's kind of local functionality and have like literally split the screen down the middle.
Yep.
You know, with between two switches. So, but I don't know if it's too late to do that or not. But you know,
I think EA is trying to make up for lost time and lost business from missing the Switch, so they want to be on.
We talk about this all the time, though. They did not miss the Switch. The only thing was like Madden, and because FIFA was there, all the EA originals were there.
They no longer have to make different versions of these sports games. Like, that's the other thing. Like, 2K was announced as coming. Like, can I tell you how bad 2K is on the Switch?
It's amazing.
It's so bad. Like, I would rather play the iOS version, and that's not being sarcastic. That's how little effort, and to an already effortless series, that's how, like, you should be ashamed that you are putting this product out at $50 a year. You should be ashamed. But getting that is huge. Final Fantasy VII Remake coming over is big. That exclusivity window has finally ended. That's big.
Yeah.
This was not my pick to show up here. I kind of thought we were going to see Final Fantasy 16 today, but we'll take 7. And more people who can play Remake, the better.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great. Bravely Default might have been my other big surprise here, that we're getting that remastered, and it looks great.
Yeah.
It's only $40. We got something under $80, guys. That's an exclusive. It's $40.
Yeah. I wonder. So the one thing I have here that I have a question about, not that it'll run on the Switch too, but so Hogwarts Legacy, right? I wonder if, not that WB makes a lot of great decisions, but I wonder if they would go into that, Switch 2 upgrade program, because Hogwarts Legacy is on the Switch, believe it or not.
It looks like garbage. I'm just gonna say it.
So I'm going to say no, considering Andre's commentary.
Yeah.
This will be the factor of, can Generations 1 Switch games be upgraded to the Switch 2? That's how I see this. And Hogwarts is the first and perfect test. If Hogwarts looks great on the Switch 2, send it.
Yeah.
Send it.
Yeah, Yakuza 0 also, right? Because Yakuza 1 Kiwami, I think, is on Switch. So would that be upgraded to some sort of, I don't know, Xbox One, PS4 version?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be just a regular version that they brought out, like for Xbox and PlayStation. Because I think the Series X version don't even have any updates. It's always kind of still like the PlayStation 4 version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Stephanie, were you going to say something?
No, it was just the comment on, when they were talking about Hogwarts Legacy, that there'll be seamless transitions to different areas. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just a port version of it.
Yeah.
Like they put the quality of life stuff on it.
As someone who did play a little bit of Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch to cover it on the show, that open world is not an open world. It's literally like you load into different hub areas. And like the world looks like an open world, but you hit that loading wall and then it goes to a loading screen and then it just loads you on the other side of that wall.
I think the only game I have ever seen seamless transitions do almost perfect, because I didn't even clue in, was God of War. God of War 2018 and Ragnarok.
Or you mean when he shimmies through the wall in the cracks?
I just mean in the sense of like the camera is like always there, and like even cutscenes, like out of cutscenes, it always like it never seems to like falter.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I had a couple others that I thought were really cool here that just were like touched on very briefly. Confirming the 007 game is coming from IOI was really awesome.
Yeah,
GoldenEye.
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's the brand new.
It's a brand new.
I know,
yeah,
but I want GoldenEye.
GoldenEye's already on the Switch. Go play it.
Yeah,
go play it.
That's fair.
It's that was really cool. Like again, it just highlights that that is a brand new game that is being developed for PS5 and Series X, and it is going to come to Switch 2. Will it have the same quality? I hope so. Like we said, these are Series S specs, or at least damn close to it.
Would this be Amazon's first like third party kind of thing for consoles?
No, because they don't have control over the game's IP for it.
Yeah.
Because it had Amazon's name on it. So that's why I was wondering.
That's because Amazon owns the 007 property.
Yeah,
but this was in production long before that. So Amazon's going to have little to no say in this.
Yeah, because 007 is part of MGM Studios, and Amazon owns MGM Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's why I was wondering, like, for this game, I thought Amazon would. I don't know if Amazon has any other IP that they put on any other console, or would this be like the first one?
New World.
Okay.
Seeing the continued partnership with Supergiant, getting Hades 2 here, huge. First console that's been. We know it's going to come to everything eventually, but seeing that makes me hopeful that we see it by Christmas this year on Switch 2, even if it's just early access. Really hoping.
I gotta say something real quickly. As a Monster Hunter guy, I apologize to everybody that was looking for a Monster Hunter announcement on Switch 2 because, like, yeah, I feel your pain that you got Wild Hearts S on there, that's a game that EA abandoned like a year ago, and why is it showing up on a brand new console?
Yeah,
like
to quote Stephanie from earlier, capitalism.
Is that
it's an existing asset you didn't have to pay much to bring over, so like why not see it? If you sell 10 more copies, that's 10 more copies than you sold before.
Okay, well, I guess
money.
Like console launches are filled with so much fodder like this that I'm actually kind of like, hey, this is like a refreshing normal console launch. This is great.
Yeah. Okay, I'm picking up what you putting down, Josh.
Because I felt the same way about Street Fighter 6, but I think what they're doing here is really cool. Street Fighter 6 is going to be $60 at launch, but it's coming with all of the DLC so far. All the Season Pass content is going to be included right off the bat.
Yeah.
And 3 new amiibo.
Yeah, I think Capcom Monster Hunter is going to come in probably, 2 years from now. I think
they'll make another one like how Rise was built for the Switch.
I'm pretty sure, because there's 3 Monster Hunter teams. And one team always makes the main game, which is what Wilds is right now. The second team makes the spin-off game, which is what Rise was for the Switch. And then the third team does backup for the expansion for the first game.
Who does the stuff like stories?
Somebody brought up Monster Hunter.
That's a completely different team. Oh, we're not doing this tonight. I just wanted to say I just want to say that my heart goes out to all the people who are looking for a Monster Hunter announcement, with the Switch 2 Direct, and they didn't get one. My heart goes out to you guys because I was actually looking for it myself. I really want to see, but then again, Capcom just showed a lot of love, on the Switch 2 anyway. So hey, like Capcom's got something cooking.
And it just crossed 10 million. Wilds crossed 10 million in its first month. They don't want to take the wind out of its sails by announcing another game so soon.
Exactly.
But Stories 3 could easily see that announced this fall. Easy.
Yes. Especially how well Stories 2 did on the Switch.
Yep.
Speaking of announcements, Nintendo GameCube. They did it. It
was 6:30 in the morning here. I almost screamed.
My
partner had to come in and she's like, "Hey, what's going on? The kids are sleeping." And I was like, "Sorry, I got like a muscle spasm. Sorry." And she's like, "Okay, just keep it down." I almost yelled. I've never been so happy in my life.
This
was muscle spasm. That's what we're going with.
I'm gonna tell your children that when they get older.
This was the one thing I was like,
that sound, that GameCube sound. It's like Pavlov's dog. It's like ding.
Yeah, there's that, and then my son being born. I'll tell him that right to his face. I'll tell him that.
Wow.
Jesus.
Homie, sit down for a second. I gotta tell you something.
When Ed and I were talking about NSO on Switch 2, maybe like 2 weeks ago, Ed, I've been so adamant that they were not going to put GameCube and beyond on the NSO because
the releases of the games.
That is the prime generation to like HD remaster and not really have to do much.
Exactly. That was my logic too. I was like,
we were counting the GameCube and Wii games on the Switch already, and it's over 30.
Yeah,
I was so
from that generation
to pay for Nintendo GameCube games on the Switch too.
Me too.
I was so ready, and then Nintendo's like, "No, hey. Take it easy, big guy. Have a seat. Here's a silver plate." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know we were friends like that." Bro.
I mean,
exactly. I was waiting. I was definitely going to get a Twilight Princess and a Wind Waker remaster on the Switch. They're going to take my money because you saw what Corey and Stephanie, you guys were on the stream with me live when like Prime went live, and I was like, "Wait, Prime is available right now?" I actually jumped on my Switch and bought it on the stream.
Ever come out of anybody.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Nintendo GameCube games that haven't been released, and I think with them bringing this to NSO, a lot of people hopefully will be able to play that version. And games like Eternal Darkness, probably Twin Snakes, if Konami and Nintendo work something out. And then there's just like some other games, even at Nintendo's launch, that just never came out. Or has ever been released, so people now getting a chance to play it. I mean, Wind Waker, yes. Soul Calibur 2, great decision to get a lot of people into this, for this re-release. with it. And then like I was telling Corey,
Wait, which game?
The real Soul Calibur 2.
so
Run
Soul
them hands,
Calibur
dog.
2.
Run them hands, dog. Let's go back. Soul
Yeah.
Calibur 2 was the game.
Josh,
Yes,
I'm
but this
gonna-
is
I'm
this is the
gonna
proper
reserve-
one with Link,
I'm
and
gonna
not
reserve my
Spawn
thoughts.
or Heihachi.
I'm going to reserve my thoughts on that one.
Yeah, so this is a good chance, and like we don't know if they're raising prices or anything, but for right now, it seems like it's still the $50 per year for it. I think this is going to get more people. If GameCube could come, now people probably are hoping Dreamcast could come, because then Switch, in a sense, will almost be the ultimate game machine for people to play retro games. For it. I mean, we still don't got TurboGrafx 16. We don't got the Neo Geo yet, even 3DO and all of that stuff. But I think that's all fine. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, man, I
We
think
even
that's
have like more games coming.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
about to say. I like the sentiment, Ed, but they need to actually release more games, for these expanded consoles to make it worth the while. So here's how Nintendo can with the Switch 2, here's how Nintendo can actually be the kingmaker as far as like all these freaking like consoles going right now. If they utilize their virtual console environment and actually make it pop. I mean, it's nice that we have like a lot of tried and true classics and stuff like that, but they also got to take the risks, because like if we're looking at like they're going to put, I guarantee you, Skies of Arcadia is going to show up on this for the GameCube side of it and stuff like that. But they also need to they also need to do stuff that actually brings them in, and they actually have to have that library, because I mean, I turn my Switch on all the time, and I only have less than 30 games on a classic console,
I think they'll probably also bring the Japanese unreleased games here that was on these consoles, because they've been doing that lately. Games that were on these platforms, but were only in Japan. I think they're going to do something like this with GameCube, so that's incentive for people to like even try some of those games on it.
So before we kind of talk more about the GameCube stuff, it will have enhanced visuals apparently. So these games look great running. I wonder if that emulation that they're using, I wonder how they're doing that. I mean, obviously people have been doing it forever. So
Dolphin.
And Corey, you got your dream. You said that you wish they could customize the controls, and it's going to let you do that.
Yeah. And customizable controls, save states, obviously. The big one though is the GameCube controllers also being sold through NSO.
Hell yeah!
That's good.
It's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be about $50 because that's what the N64 controllers were.
Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, isn't this just exclusive to the Switch 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It is worth noting that the GameCube is exclusive to the NSO expansion pack specifically.
Yeah.
So
It's got that chat button, game chat.
yeah. I'm excited for GameCube. I'm shocked that they did this, honestly, but now I think that they did GameCube. This opens the door for stuff like, like Ed said, Dreamcast, but also like Wii stuff. And
I'm really curious to see how this evolves throughout Switch 2's life.
yeah.
Same.
Launching this with 3 games is a choice. And listen, Wind Waker, people love Wind Waker, right? Soul Calibur 2, okay, you got the Defender of the Soul Calibur 2. F-Zero feels really out of left field, especially when you're launching these games on the service the same day as Mario Kart 9.
What would you change then? Just out of curiosity.
What would I change? I mean,
Yeah.
I would have added 7 more games. I would have had it at a nice round 10. There's no reason that Sunshine can't be a part of this, as Ed noted earlier. That's
Yeah, but
been part of the Mario
historically,
3D collection.
Nintendo has when they first launched NSO with N64, or well, that wasn't the first one, but they always started with a couple. But
Sure.
your argument is valid, because
I've never liked it either.
They should have.
Yeah, I used to say that. I guess I'm just not surprised anymore. I'm like, okay, they'll add to it.
They should have led with Luigi's Mansion.
I'm also going to say,
yeah.
not have it. I feel like you had the perfect layup here to have Metroid Prime 2 as a part of this, because you
2
have
and
Metroid
3
Prime
at
4.
least.
You have
Hey.
4 coming out this fall. Like, you need to have a way for people to experience that
People
story. In
were
my opinion.
begging for the Metroid Prime trilogy to have been
Yes.
finished by the time Metroid Prime 4
Yes.
came out. Like I said, Nintendo's going to bonehead this shit every time. They
But-
are.
And like,
But
I don't
as
even know if
usual-
it's like really a bonehead. It's just like they're not. It feels like they're just not thinking. Like, oh well, if people really want to play it, they'll go back and play it. I feel like Nintendo doesn't understand the value that their fan base puts on these classic properties. Like
Yes.
F-Zero being here is huge. I've been begging for F-Zero since GX to
But
get
I
a new
think-
one.
But I think Nintendo has plans for some stuff. They just don't
Right.
want to say anything. I understand
Because
that I understand.
Years.
I understand we would love to have this stuff, but Nintendo is in control of their marketing. They know when to roll stuff out when they're ready to roll it out to get
Well,
people hyped.
Do they?
Okay, you know what? Actually, yeah, I'm going to ask the question here, and let's not make this a really long talk topic. But what is the reason for them allowing us to play The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker when people have been begging for a remaster on the Switch? What was the
And we're
point?
getting the not superior HD version from
Exactly.
which they will re-release. I guarantee you, we're still going to get re-releases of some of these
Right.
games.
It just doesn't make any
Hey,
sense.
I think
They-
Nintendo's not just focusing on that because they have a new console. They want to focus the marketing on that for right now.
Mhm. Well,
They got-
plus like people
Capitalism.
people will buy the Switch just for Zelda, also, right?
Sure.
Right.
And not NSO. I mean, as many units as the Switch sold, they still only have like 25 or 30 million subscribers, and not all those are expansion
And a
pass
lot of
subscribers.
those are the cheap version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're
We
gonna
have
try,
it just to trade Pokemon.
yeah. So any final thoughts on GameCube before we move on? Because I
Do
do
you
want to
remember
talk
Pokemon
about pricing.
Coliseum exists?
Yeah.
Star
I'm-
Fox Adventures better being there, or hands are being thrown with someone.
I'm glad it's coming. I'm glad it's coming.
Yeah. Just a one word answer from each of you.
About what?
What about Smash Melee?
Ooh.
Send the friend code, throw hands. It's easy.
Let's go.
Send the friend code, throw hands. It's easy. Pink slips. Pink slips, dog. Pink slips.
Christmas morning 2025.
Melee would break the internet. Fact.
They will wait until there is a lull in their schedule, and they'll do it as a shadow drop.
Yeah.
That game would
Mhm.
would be so much. LAN parties would go insane.
I don't know if they would do it yet, or they would do it.
No, they won't.
before
They're
the-
they're gonna wait. They're
Yeah.
gonna wait, and
I
they're
don't
gonna
think-
drop it.
I don't think they're gonna bring it at all because of Ultimate.
All right. Well, let's wrap this show up and talk about pricing, release date, pre-order date. So
I just want to say I'm from Canada, so my prices are different. I want to say that now.
yeah, you have your fake money.
I have thoughts on what I've seen on the internet about pricing.
Yeah, you and I had a long conversation about that this afternoon.
Yeah, I came in very heated.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I had to temper it, man.
Yeah. All right.
That
So
was very
the console is coming out on June 5th. Ed, sorry, your November prediction was way off.
I know.
I guessed this week last week.
Yeah, he did.
I said to let everybody know. I said November during one of our expansion passes, or I think one of our shows. Because I thought that it was too close of a June release, and I thought they wouldn't have enough games ready to go for that time. But it seems that Nintendo does have a lot of games planned for it from third party. So with the June 5th release, I'm glad to see that. I told Corey I'd take my L. I just thought that November would be a time that they would have enough games for it.
I mean, remember when we were at PAX last year? A lot of the indie developers said they thought the Switch 2 would be out because one in particular said they were going to show their game on it, and then it never came out. So I think June 5th is an interesting date. I would have gone a little earlier or a little later. I feel like that's like right at the beginning of event season
for the Summer Direct stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, I know they want it out before their Summer Direct stuff, and but pre-orders begin a week from today as of this recording. So you can go to mynintendo.com if you're an NSO subscriber, and they will put you in a first come first serve line that non-NSO subscribers are not allowed in.
How bad do you think this is going to be overall, getting it on day one?
I don't know. I could see it going either way. I could see it being like awful, but I could also see it being the way they've been talking about how many units they want to sell by the end of the year and how many units are ready. I could see this thing being relatively easier to get than, say, like the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox when that launched, which
we're also in a pandemic.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I could see this being relatively
easy.
I wouldn't say easy, but easier to get than, the last launch.
I think it's going to be how do these like people with bots and stuff, how they going to do with Best Buy and Amazon. Well, I don't really know Amazon, but Best Buy.
Amazon's not taking pre-orders because they don't have a relationship with Nintendo at all anymore.
But Nintendo also has said vehemently that like they're going to have supply to hit the demand for this first batch,
and they said they're going to take any measure possible to battle scalpers, at least through their own channels.
I think this is actually going to be really, really bad. I was kind of in the camp that Corey was, so like it could be a little bit column A, column B. With a lot of the economic news we've gotten in the last week or so. I think there's a lot of economic uncertainty right now. I mean, Shinobi602 was tweeting about this earlier, that we all know Nintendo moved where they were manufacturing consoles to try and avoid the tariffs. They're doing it in Vietnam. Vietnam got slapped with a 45% tariff today.
Damn.
And I don't think I need to spell out for anybody that the 450 price point in US dollars was them trying to preemptively combat that. I think there is going to be a land rush of people and scalpers trying to get these consoles now, because we have already seen that Microsoft has raised prices in regions. Sony has raised prices across the world for the expense of their consoles, and that was pre-tariff. This is going to be bad. And
Nintendo has already moved a lot of their production. I mean, a lot of it still is in Taiwan, but a lot of it has moved into like India and
the bulk of it has moved to Vietnam from everything I was seeing from Bloomberg today. Like a lot of the consoles are being there, but also like we've heard that a lot of consoles are already stateside. That they started shipping stuff in months ago in anticipation of this. It could go either. That Mario Kart bundle is gone. That's gone immediately.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it right now. Elections have consequences, and you guys knew what the hell y'all were doing when y'all did what y'all did.
Sure.
Last November.
Y'all to LeRon? Who are you saying y'all
Yeah,
to?
who are you?
Stephanie, you know exactly what I'm saying y'all to, and I am not saying y'all to you, Stephanie.
Big picture, I do think like big picture, there's obviously like much bigger concerns than the price of a console. But if that even goes up by like $50, like that being $450 is already going to price people out of this. I'm not going to lie. The Switch Lite was such a godsend at $180.
Okay.
I was just gonna say it's gonna be interesting to see how people import the system from other countries. If there is a price, if there's a price change,
they're not going to be able to.
The only country that is getting it cheaper than the US is the Japanese language only version in Japan, which is $130 cheaper if you go by the transfer rates.
But that's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting to see if people like really go for that import version of Switch 2.
Yeah, so
you're going to play everything just strictly in Japanese, because that's what that console is. There is no English.
You weren't aware Ed's fluent in Japanese.
I mean, I don't know if it's. Okay. They never said if it was region free.
They have said.
They did. Oh. It's on their website. Yep. So
the only way to get the English console in Japan is to order it directly through Nintendo.com.
Yeah. Before Andre, before you go, we haven't really. I mean, we talked about it, but the console, the standard version is going to be $449.99 US, and the Mario Kart World bundle is $499.99 with a digital code for Mario Kart. So that's $30 cheaper US for that. So which is why that's probably going to sell out first. Andre, I know Canada's much different.
So actually two things. Corey, you just reminded me. Did you want to talk about how like they're going to sell the game cartridges, but then you have to download the game?
We're going to do that right after this.
Okay. So yeah, I live in Vancouver, Canada. My pricing for the standard Switch 2 is $629. For the bundle, it's $699.
I am so sorry, man. I am so sorry.
So it's a thick price tag. I'll tell you that.
Felt that in my soul.
Hey, Andre, you and your fiance aren't married yet. Like, marry me. I'll get you a green card. You can be
bro. I'm on the next flight. I'm there.
Andre, what
are
is
you
the
sure? Are you sure you want Andre to come here? Don't you want to go there?
Andre,
Andre, I'll come to Canada on a sham marriage.
Hey, look, I will kick everyone out of the house.
I'm a tender lover, okay?
Andre, what's the price of the PlayStation 5 Pro in Canada?
God, okay, so the PS5 Pro before tax $959, after tax $1075 and 89 cents.
Okay.
As someone who, as an employee of GameStop, I know a lot of
prices. You couldn't even get a discount on that. That's the sad part. Because I used to
$1075, not including the warranty. The 1 year warranty is extra $150. 2 year warranty is extra $200.
And then you don't even add the disc drive for the PlayStation.
So if you add the disc drive, it's another $89.99 after tax $100. If you want to buy a game, it's about $100.79. If you want to buy another controller, it depends on the color. Limited edition could range you from $111 to $124. So ballpark $1,500 if you want to be that guy.
Just buy a damn computer.
At that point, buy a goddamn computer.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. I want to end on the way that cartridges are going to work. Some of them, not all of them, but probably most third-party games and, some Nintendo games. Andre, you brought it up. You want to talk about that real quick?
I don't know a whole lot. I've only seen things, but apparently there's going to be some games that the cartridge is in the case, but the actual game filing isn't on it. So you put in the cartridge and then have to download a game. Is that kind of how it works?
That's how Xbox has been doing it for years at this point. PlayStation does it too.
Game card key.
So
so I guess I'm just ignorant and just don't understand why everyone's oh my god, I just don't get it.
What was that sound?
And they're charging you $10 more for those, by the way, too. At least in the EU.
Okay.
It is 90 euros to buy Mario Kart World on a cartridge over there, whereas it is 65 euros to buy it digitally.
That makes sense then. Okay, yeah.
So, that is a market that is still very physical media dominant in terms of Switch games. I think Chris Dirrig put out a number earlier today from Game Business where he was saying that roughly 80% of game sales in Europe and in the UK are still physical games.
That's fair.
That's going to physical games are just going to be annihilated in.
I mean, I think Europe. We're moving into a society and a world where physical games aren't kind of a thing anymore. I mean, DVDs aren't even a thing. So I know Nintendo was kind of the last one to hold on to physical games, but I just think they're kind of catching up with the times. I mean, Xbox, Sony, they're kind of doing it, and Nintendo's we're making a stand. But now I guess they're all right, cool, we'll follow suit.
I mean, they were already kind of there with the cloud versions of Control, right?
Yeah,
they were already starting to dip their toes into this, but the fact that they're confirming that this isn't going to just be a third-party thing is big. But from what I was reading, that is because the speed you would need on these cards, it would make that cost even more. The cartridges cost even more. So for some games, it just does not make sense. I'm more shocked that all of Cyberpunk is supposedly coming loaded on a card.
That's with the 64 gigabyte card.
Yeah. Yeah, so they got one of those super cards essentially. And you're not going to get that for every game.
I think they was planning the 64 gigabyte card for Switch, but I think they just never did it.
They didn't do it because they were so expensive for the developer to buy in bulk, so they just stuck with the 16 and 32 gigs, right? I mean,
they're still expensive, by the way.
Yeah, I think
okay.
I think The Witcher is one of the only games that uses the 32 gigabyte card, and that's because the entire game and the entire game is on there. The DLC is not on there, by the way. It's just the game.
That's weird.
But yeah, I mean, those cartridges are expensive, man. That's why PlayStation won out against the N64, right? It's because discs were cheap.
Yeah, and I think like that's sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
cool.
The general consensus around the world is like everyone's upset about like paying $80 for a game, and I think where I am is that like up here we've been paying like base Nintendo Switch game after tax is about $89.59, and if you buy the warranty, it's $94.59. So I guess like me being ignorant and not knowing what it's like down there, when I saw that, I was like, why is everyone complaining? I'm like, we've been doing this for like ever. I'm like, it's not new for me.
Honestly, the main reason why we were complaining is because we just gotten used to like the $70 price hike for games.
Right.
Yeah,
which like most
I didn't really
studios
think
still aren't even charging that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
So, like, I think we all expected the $80 hit to come eventually, but I think we all thought it would be in the form of Grand Theft Auto 6, and
which
not
makes sense.
Mario Kart
And not
World.
Nintendo, not Nintendo type.
Not Nintendo, who historically has had pretty decent price points for their games. They make smaller budget games. They promote themselves on being affordable. This whole pricing structure feels very antithetical to what Nintendo's brand is.
Actually, you know what? I just had to think about that. Like, no, like this is kind of also something else that's all over the place for Nintendo, because certain titles have fixed price points, and other titles are like, oh, man, that was cheaper than I thought it was going to be, and then the other was like, you want me to pay how much for this game?
Right, like
we had one $70 game on the Switch, and that was Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
Most of those games were 50. Like almost every first party game was 50. We saw some 60 sprinkled in there for like your Mario Odysseys and your Breath of the Wilds and stuff.
Yeah, shit. That
first party games were
Luigi's
30, 40,
Mansion,
$50.
Luigi's Mansion 3 set me back $60.
But then we got Metroid Prime remastered for 40, which was like a steal.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so for me, it was like 60-ish.
but like they are typically, of the big three, they are more budget conscious about a lot of their games, unless it's like a premier franchise and they just never mark them down in price then.
Yeah.
And they still sell buku bucks because it's Nintendo, because we love Nintendo, we trust Nintendo, we're familiar with these characters, we grew up with them, blah, 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 whatever you want to make up an excuse for. There comes a point where your consumer is going to walk away at that price. I have not seen a single person of my hardcore Nintendo fans be like, yeah, cool, I'm fine with $80. Like, everybody that I have seen today that I know would normally run out to buy this, and who is going to buy one of these consoles day one, has said, if I do not get the Mario Kart bundle, I am not buying this.
Yeah.
Because
to
at a
circle back,
certain point, vote with your wallet. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Stephanie.
I think
Sorry.
what makes it like what is the cherry on top is kind of circling back to the beginning of this recording, is it did not help that it was not transparent during the direct. It had to come after.
Yes.
It was like rubbing salt in the wound.
It felt like the Vita memory card moment, right?
Oh my God. It felt like the Vita memory card moment. It felt like, don't you guys have phones? What this honestly really scares me and reminds me of when I see stuff like this, and the fact that, oh, you're just going to have the game key on a cartridge. Who remembers the disastrous Xbox One reveal?
Oh yeah.
We are bordering on tone deaf territory of the Xbox One reveal and the PS3 pricing fiasco.
Yep.
You are bordering on that in terms of how the public is going to receive this. They knew it was going to go over bad, so it was not in the direct. And that's not great. Like you can put any spin you want on it, right? Like, oh, well, they didn't announce the price because it could fluctuate because of economic policies and this and that. And I guarantee you it's going to fluctuate at some point. So maybe, we don't want it to be archived and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Consumers are starting to see this because we had to go to a press release for it, and it's not going over well. And it shouldn't. The price of the console is fine. The price of the software to play on it and to upgrade your current software is not.
It's the upgrading and the games that I'm like, you guys really want to charge like probably here in Canada, Switch games are probably most likely now going to be like $100. So it's going to be like super unfortunate, which would or is gonna make me.
I did the conversion for you, Andre. If Mario Kart World, if it is an exact 1-to-1 translation of the price up there, $80 for us is 114 Canadian dollars.
All I can say is that none of that's going to matter when those games are on the NPD list and they're like number 1 or number 2.
It still matters, though, Ed. Who fucking cares? It still matters.
No, I'm just saying it. Everybody did the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom, and Tears of the Kingdom sold 10 million copies in 3 days, and this was the number 1 game. And
just hear me out here. Just hear me out here for a second. Okay, to quote Admiral Clancy from Star Trek Picard, right now this is sheer fucking hubris. What's going on right now with the pricing and stuff like that? I think Nintendo's going to wind up in a reckoning phase where they're going to realize, hey, like we've been able to traditionally like keep our games at MSRP pricing for the lifetime and beyond of the console cycles and stuff like that. I think this might be the breaking point because enough people are realizing we're in the middle of a bad economy right now. We're in a neo recession right now here in the United States.
It's a worldwide recession that we're cruising towards.
Yeah. And what Nintendo is probably going to have to, they may have to face the writing on the wall is that, we might have to like, after our game's been out for like 6 months, we may have to start dropping prices. And when I say dropping prices, I don't mean putting them on sale in Best Buy for like a weekend. I mean like the MSRP actually drops down $15, $20 and it stays there.
The general public is either going to not care or this is going to be I think it's going to lean one way or the other, right?
Yeah, and I agree.
I think we could almost see
numbers.
I think we could almost see like a 3DS era style price drop in some cases because I think Nintendo's going to want to sell the software and eat the price on the console rather than eat the price on the.
We always say this: the majority of the money that you make in a console's life cycle does not come from the hardware; it comes from the software.
Yeah,
and that's why I said that's why I said it's not going to matter when those numbers are hit at NPD. They're number 1, and number 2.
It does matter though.
In the general scheme, it matters, but I think Nintendo has enough fans that won't care either way. Right?
Mario Kart is impenetrable. It's a question of how many games do you try this with is really what it comes down to. Like, yes, Mario Kart's going to be impenetrable. Zelda will be impenetrable. Pokemon will be. It is when you start pricing your Metroids, your Star Foxes, your new IPs at that, are people still going to bite? Like, when you have this many people upset already, that is... Like we are facing realities where people have to pick and choose in terms of like entertainment, what they're going to fork out for. Would you rather have your streaming service for a year, or would you rather buy a game? Like,
I was just about to mention that.
Average buys 3 full-priced games a year. There is a reason why subscription services like PS Plus, Switch Online, Game Pass are so successful right now, and it's because you pay a flat fee every month to get access to hundreds of games.
Yeah. Even those are getting a bit more expensive.
Yeah, even those are getting questionable.
And we gotta look at the fact here, mommy and daddy, you know, like they've already got to like provide all this stuff for the kids and stuff like that. They're going to start bulking at $80 and $90 video games. They are.
Especially when you have free stuff like Fortnite and you know stuff like you know Minecraft is rumored to be going free to play soon. I heard that on
it's already the most stupid value in the world.
My son loves Minecraft.
You know,
I'm sorry. I was just saying that's why it's going to be important for people to read reviews, and you guys can come to Boss Rush Network to read those reviews.
Yeah,
like Stephanie's latest review.
To just wrap this up, and then we're going to wrap the show right now. So I know I'm in a fortunate position to afford the $80 games. I'm not thrilled to pay $80, right? But
it's pretty much
a lot of.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say I know that a lot of people aren't, and that's unfortunate.
This is pretty much like when you get in trouble and then your parents give you like a cookie and you're like, I'll take it, but I'm still not happy about it. But you know, I'll take this. But like if they start doing this for like Elden Ring and Cyberpunk and third-party games, it's like you guys are.
I mean, they can't do it for games that have been out for longer than.
The effects of this go far beyond the Switch too.
Yeah.
Because now Nintendo, who's traditionally been very price conscious, they're now going to see Nintendo was the first one to pull this trigger on an $80 MSRP game. That is going to get companies like EA and 2K, especially 2K.
I mean, this pretty much guarantees Grand Theft Auto is going to be $80 when it comes out.
At least. There was that rumor about it being $100. Doesn't seem so far fetched now.
You know, that game is gonna break people's banks for sure.
But people who only buy like 2 or 3 games a year, they buy their sports game or something, and they buy GTA, they're still gonna, like, going back to Ed's point, that's still gonna show up number 1 on MPD. It's still gonna be there because people made the choice that that's the one game they're gonna buy for this quarter or for this half of the year. They're gonna pay that because they know they're gonna play that game for years and years and years, and it's not a one and done experience. Like something like, I don't know, more traditional, like a Mario Odyssey or a Last of Us or something, right?
Yeah. I agree. So we are going to wrap it there. I want to thank everybody out there who was watching live. We had 71 peak live viewers. So that's exciting. So thank you everybody who joined us, everybody who joined us in the chat. LeRon, Stephanie, I know this is your night off from Boss Rush stuff, so thank you for joining Ed and I. Josh, thank you for joining us as well. Appreciate you. Appreciate your insights into the, not usually something you and I talk about, but it's always fun to get different opinions in here. Andre.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for hanging out. I know it was, I answered you in short notice, but
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
And then Ed, I don't know what to say about you. No arms too. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Stay hopeful.
I'm just kidding,
friend.
Ed.
Positive.
I love you. And everybody out there, I love you all as well. I want to thank you all for watching the Direct Recap Show. There will probably be another lighter episode once the Mario Kart Direct drops.
April 17th.
Ed and I might do one that weekend, or maybe it'll even be part of the...
We've got 2 days of tree houses the next 2 days also.
I know. So there's going to be so much to talk about in the weeks to come.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Power Block will definitely be Treehouse heavy this week. So check that out. You can check Josh and I out on Tower Casuals and Xbox Casuals every Friday. You can check LeRon, Stephanie, and I out on Boss Rush Podcast every Tuesday live. Andre hangs out with us everywhere once in a while.
Yes, sir. Whenever I have time, I'm always there hanging out with the boys.
And then Ed and I on Nintendo Power Block and Expansion Pass and 1UP. If you enjoyed our discussion, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Network. Check out all of our content on bossrush.net, including reviews, banters, listicles, features, and more. And you can also find all of our content there, including all of our podcasts. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/Boss Network, and leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Network. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.